Yeah. So I wanted to talk about longevity in powerlifting. It's something that I think I have a pretty good idea about. I've spent 8.5, 9 years in the sport now, 20 competitions, and with it, I still love powerlifting. Like I thoroughly enjoy it. There's been times where I feel like powerlifting has been horrible for me, but I've still enjoyed training. I've still not hated every single minute of it. And even when I was kind of at my worst or where I was like, this is not me who's lifting, I've kind of drifted away from what I think I should be doing. Still enjoyed the sport and still managed to stay in it. And I think the main thing is remaining as injury free as possible. That's going to keep you in the sport, that's going to keep you enjoying training, that's going to keep you progressing, or at least feeling like you're progressing and enjoying it. Because when injuries occur, it's hell, right? Like you have this training schedule, you pay your coach for it, and then you get injured and you're like, everything is ruined, everything slows down. And all of a sudden that kind of, you catastrophize to a point where you're like, maybe powerlifting is wrong for me. And I think that the longer that you can spend looking after your body, making good decisions in training, planning your years of training, the better and longer you're going to stay in powerlifting, right? So it's January now, it's like the perfect time to start looking at how are you going to do for your whole year of powerlifting? Like, where does everything fit in? Like, if you've got family holidays coming up, if you've got trips away, how are you planning your year kind of around those things? Because you want to be doing things outside of powerlifting. That's also a big thing. You don't just want to powerlift, you need to have things outside of it to keep powerlifting enjoyable, to keep it not being the main focus of your entire life. And like powerlifting is great and it's so easy to get nailed in, dialed in on all the variables, right? Control everything. But it becomes a chore very, very quickly for 99.9% of people, right? Like personally, I don't track my macros. I try to sleep as much as I can. And I eat pretty much what I want for the most part. Like, yes, I'm looking for like high protein options. Yes, I'm trying to eat lots of fruit and veg. But just making general healthy decisions is going to be good for your powerlifting. You don't need to track exactly 9 hours of sleep every night. You don't need exactly 10,000 steps every day. You don't need to be doing like everything to like the nth degree. You just need to be doing enough to look after yourself. And you'll find that out over the first kind of couple of years about how much you need to be doing. And then you can kind of play with that. Like you can pull it down a little bit away from competition as you get close to competition, ramp it up a little bit. But I don't think there should ever be a time where you're obsessing over every single tiny detail because it doesn't make it fun. And it doesn't make it enjoyable. It makes it a chore. You don't want to be spending your whole life being like, oh, damn it, went 10 grams under on my carbs, my session's ruined tomorrow. It's like, you don't want to be that person. It doesn't make the sport enjoyable. And like, I've been that person. That's why I can say this now, like in full confidence that the sport is way more enjoyable when you're just trying to live a healthy life, like a normal human being, eating a bit more protein, sleeping as much as you really can, and then just going c'est la vie to pretty much everything. Like enjoy it, like it's fun. But that kind of healthy lifestyle living is what's going to take you away from being injured, really. Like that's going to be your best case scenario in trying not to get injured. Like the likelihood is at some point in powerlifting, you're going to get injured. But if you can mitigate that by just looking after yourself, living a healthy lifestyle, being a little bit mindful about how you're warming up in the gym, like maybe I don't overshoot today because my leg hurts. Like that's probably a smart idea. Or I don't want to squat today because my back really hurts. Like great, live to fight another day. Like that's how you should be thinking in powerlifting. It's live to fight another day as often as you need to. And it shouldn't be coming up crazy often. But if you've got like say a little pec twinge going on, it's like, oh, maybe I can push 80% today. So why would you do that? Like take the lighter option, keep yourself going, build momentum back up again. Like that's a far more better option. That's a far better option than just sending it for next to no reason. Like there's no gain in pushing really hard when you're in pain, unless you're in, 4 weeks out and it's an amount of pain that you know is tolerable and you've kind of toyed with it a little bit before and you know that if I push this, it isn't going to end my powerlifting career, right? Like it's not going to put me out for a year. It's just going to cause me a little bit of pain. And as soon as the meet's over, I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to devote all my attention in training to getting myself healthy and better. So the longevity part is very much about staying pain-free. and that's going to keep you in the sport to start with. And now around that, like there's so many things you can do to make powerlifting more fun or to stay in the sport longer. And that comes with what you're doing outside of the gym in terms of like, are you playing another sport at the same time? Have you got academics at the same time? Work, family, all of these things tie in to powerlifting. And it's fantastic in the way that anyone can pick up powerlifting, right? It's a really accessible sport and you don't have to do it year round. You can take breaks from it. You can pick and choose, you can come back. You can do a comp, take 2 months away doing whatever you want to do, road cycling, or maybe you just don't want to go to the gym for 2 months. You can do that. And then you can get back into the gym and kind of return to play for that, and then get back into prep again, or get back into doing something else or a different goal or a different aim when you're in the gym. Like you don't have to be powerlifting as the be all end all of everything all the time. Like there's a lot of athletes who take that kind of 2-month break and almost do powerlifting seasonally, which is a strange concept to a lot of people. But for me right now, it seems really appealing as a way for me to be able to continue to powerlift. So if my training structure right now has a lot of kind of more well-rounded, like actual athletic things, and I'm still doing some powerlifting, but I'm not doing loads. And I talked about last video, sliders. Like things can change. You can pull your powerlifting right down, and then when it gets closer, you want to get to comp, you start ramping it back up a little bit. And with that comes, it's like, okay, I care a little bit more about how much protein's coming. I care a touch more about how many carbs coming in. You kind of play these kind of peaks and troughs, I guess, through the year of how much effort you want to put into your powerlifting, kind of the results that you expect from that. And you taper your expectations accordingly. So you don't end up in that situation where you're like, I love powerlifting. I want to progress like crazy, but my effort's right down here in terms of everything else. And you can play these curves really nicely for a very long time to keep yourself in the sport. And I think that's pretty major, right? Like you need to be aware enough of yourself that you can make sensible decisions time and time again in your training without your coach's input. Like you have to be responsible for how your body feels and the training that you actually do. We give you, as online coaches, we give you the program that we think is the best for you. But we don't know how your body feels exactly. Like that relies on the communication, that relies on so many different factors, you doing the training program as we want. And then that feedback and that telling us how you feel is super important, because that's how we try to keep you in it for longer as well. Because obviously, selfishly, we want you in the sport because we get paid, but we also want more people to do powerlifting because we love powerlifting. Like, I love seeing people do well at powerlifting. With my coaching, I don't care how strong you are. I have never cared how strong anyone really is. I just want people who love powerlifting, who love training, and want to train hard and try their best, because that's all you can do in powerlifting. Like, not everyone is going to be a Nonso Josh, I can't remember the names of I think it's Willow, the American 83, 93, lifting crazy weights. Not everyone can be that. But as long as you enjoy powerlifting and try your hardest, like that's great to coach. And this is a massive tangent on where I wanted to go, but we're sticking with it for now. But that communication and you knowing yourself and being able to make decisions for yourself is the best thing. So if you finish your squats and your quad hurts a bit and you've got front foot elevated split squats after, and you go, probably shouldn't do this, but it's on the plan, so I should do this, and then you hurt your quad more, way worse scenario than just going, I'm going to skip it because my quad hurts. That's live to fight another day. That's what you want to be doing. You want to be making sensible decisions to keep yourself in the sport longer. But ultimately, powerlifting is great, and I wish more people did it, and I wish more people spent the time to enjoy it and see it for what it actually is, which can be a really great community of people lifting together. The competitions can be really fun, and you don't need to worry about so many things that you are probably worrying about. You can just try enjoy going to the gym, because ultimately we go to the gym competitively, and it's a very weird sport, but it's very, very fun at the same time.